ไม่มีเกียร์ถอยหลังครับดูครับยิ่งโดนก็ยิ่งเดินจิ้มหมัดแม่วิรพลมีทั้งหมัดทั้งเข่าครับถอยทำครับแม้ว่าจะโดนเข้าไปนะครับแซมสันอีสานเฉยๆครับว่ากันว่านะครับ10 ล้อชนนี่ยังเฉยๆครับแซมสันอีสานเดินจิ้มหมัดเอาแล้วครับจิ้มหมัดทีหนึ่งโดนหน้าจิ้มอีกทีหนึ่งเอาครับวิรพลเมาแล้วดูครับเอาแล้วครับเมาแล้วครับอัปคัตอีกทีหนึ่งผมต้องจับตาดูให้ดีครับจิ้มมาอีกทีหนึ่งจิ้มมาอีกทีหนึ่งวิรพลต้องถอยครับงอนเงินจิ้มมาอีกทีหนึ่งวิรพลถอยแล้วสวมหมวกกันน็อกถอย
So this is Samson Isaan. Samson is not a trainer, but he was Fighter of the Year. He's an incredibly ferocious, like, forward fighter. He does these little pumps of pushing. He's like, when I go forward, I go like this. See how he interrupts? He has like a rhythm of the pulse. And then when he gets on his beat, he just starts going hard. He's like, you make contact all the time. You contact the hands and you pulse. And he uses his forearm as like this bigger area to both guard and push his opponent. The minute he gets you kind of stumbling backwards, it's like trying to push a car, and once the car starts rolling, it's gonna go. When he's pulsing and he gets you going backwards a little bit, he cannot help himself. He goes into like smelling blood in the water mode, which is so cool. The pulse of your hands is interrupting your opponent, but it's also pressuring them backwards. And then your actual power attacks are coming underneath. This was cool too. So he points his fist towards himself. It makes his forearms like gauntlets, like he can use them as protection. Look at when he puts his chin in, it forces his mouth open. He tucks it so hard that you can't breathe through your nose. See how protected he is? So he's not concerned with being in that close. He wants to be in that close because he's actually forcing you out of the space to create the space he needs for a strike.
Look where it is.
Oh. And then the twist out of it. He's like, if people try to elbow you when you protect like this, they're just going to be hitting forearm. And as you try to come up the center, he just pinches it. He just pinches his elbows together and like closes the door, basically. Look at the turn of his shoulder. The whole thing twists because he turns his shoulders so hard. Look at it, the line of his body. His front foot, his back foot, and how he twists his body and his shoulder just comes super long. He's saying you close your shoulder. God, look at the twist in his hips. And then his foot twists so hard, but his other one stays the same. This is his back and forth. He only goes forward. It's so cool. See how he tucks so that only the top of his head can have any impact? Like if you try to elbow or punch or anything, you're only going to be hitting the top of his head. He's pushing my head a lot harder than it looks. And by trying to get away from it, you end up either going backwards or stiffening your entire body against it. And it makes you pretty immobile. So he's showing how, at the beginning, it's the same with that knee and then the cross elbow, but then he pushes the opponent back. So it's like, I'm going to keep coming. So you're just pushing your opponent into the space that you want them to be in so that you can keep walking. Look at him go. Jesus Christ. Look at where he puts it on his head and how it's forward.
Behind the shoulder.
And then he's so tucked behind. You can't touch him. Like, there's nowhere for it. And then because his elbow is coming straight out, you kind of just need to get out of the way.